In the Liberty game, yeah.
Were you able to pinpoint the time in the Liberty game that happened, or you were just?
No, definitely early in the game, but I couldn't tell you the exact play something occurred on, and could have.
You're watching World Hoop, and if you thought the drama in the WNBA was already at a fever pitch, then you haven't seen anything yet. Remember that Brooklyn logo bomb from Caitlin Clark? The one that left defenders bewildered and fans screaming for more?
And, try to play a little bit better and give yourself as great, and you have an opportunity to come back the next game and, try to play a little bit better and give yourself a chance to take it back home and win.
Well, last night we witnessed a different kind of explosion. A performance so utterly dominant, so historically significant, it didn't just win a game. It shattered records and rewrote the narrative of an entire season. The Indiana Fever beat the Dallas Wings 102-83, a score that barely scratches the surface of the basketball masterpiece we all just witnessed. This wasn't just any game. This was the first professional showdown between two names etched into the very fabric of basketball rivalry. Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers.
Your legs, and then today we'll have a practice, we'll watch more film, there'll be more recovery stuff, but like the turnaround time is very quick, but it is for them too.
For 5 years, fans have been captivated by one of the most legendary rivalries to ever grace the hardwood. High school phenoms who chose dramatically different paths, Clark to Iowa, Bueckers to UConn. Their college matchups were the stuff of legends, especially in the crucible of the NCAA tournament. Critics, even seasoned veterans like UConn's Geno Auriemma, questioned if Clark's audacious success could truly translate to the brutal physicality of the WNBA. Last night, these two titans faced off for the very first time as pros. But what unfolded wasn't just a game. It was Clark making history in a way that only she has ever done not once, but twice. If you're as excited as we are to break down the records that were annihilated that night, then do us a favor. Drop a comment right now at CC Record Breaker. Let's go! Two teenage basketball phenoms, each a force of nature, making colossal waves across America, destined to clash for years to come. Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers first crossed paths in high school, both ranked as top recruits, yet boasting completely different playing styles and personalities. Clark brought explosive scoring, unparalleled passing vision, and that audacious, deep three-point range that became her signature. Bueckers, on the other hand, showcased smooth efficiency, a silky mid-range jumper, and court vision that rivaled even Clark's. Their bond, forged on the AAU circuit and cemented on the U16 and U19 World Cup teams, was genuine. As Clark herself once reminisced, I feel like she's played in the same manner that she has since she was, whether we were on the U16 team together, U19 team together, whether it was me watching her in AAU. Like, she's always just been smooth. She takes what the game gives her. Her midi has always been as nice as it's been this year. She just plays way older than she is. She's confident. She's smooth. She just does everything at a high level, can score from all three levels. This mutual respect underscored a rivalry built not on animosity, but on an intense desire to compete at the highest level. Their college paths, however, diverged dramatically, setting the stage for epic NCAA tournament battles that would ultimately define both players' legacies. Bueckers chose the legendary UConn program under the tutelage of the iconic Geno Auriemma, joining a dynasty that had claimed multiple championships. Clark, with a hunger to prove herself on the biggest stage, picked Iowa, a program yearning for national recognition. This decision ignited an almost mythical rivalry that transcended college basketball.
At the end of the day, I'm here to play basketball, and that's my job. That's what I'm going to do. I was excited. Honestly, the review took too long for me. I wanted to get playing basketball again.
Clark's Iowa team famously crushed Bueckers' UConn dreams in March Madness, delivering monster performances when it mattered most, including a masterful 41-point masterpiece that sent the Huskies home early. She outplayed Bueckers head-to-head, winning 2 of their 3 college matchups, solidifying her dominance in their collegiate chapter. But not everyone was convinced her game would translate seamlessly to the pros. Geno Auriemma, ever the provocateur, had specific criticisms of Clark's game. He openly questioned her shot selection and doubted her WNBA readiness compared to his own star, Bueckers, firmly believing that Bueckers' refined fundamentals would translate better to the professional level. Clark's explosive, free-flowing scoring and Bueckers' smooth, efficient style represented 2 distinct philosophies of basketball excellence. And then there was the infamous Diana Taurasi quote, often taken out of context. "This kid's in for a rude awakening." Many jumped on that, missing the crucial nuance. Taurasi was right in a way. Clark was in for a rude awakening to the physicality of the league, not a judgment on her skill. But the media frenzy, eager for conflict, amplified the doubt. Both players declared for the WNBA, leaving fans on the edge of their seats, wondering when these two titans would finally meet as professionals. The stage was set for their first WNBA showdown, with Clark holding a 2-1 college advantage, but facing fresh questions about her pro game after a challenging start to her rookie season. The anticipation was palpable. ABC picked up the broadcast nationally, knowing this matchup was a ratings magnet, drawing viewers from across the country. Clark's recent struggles with the Fever only ratcheted up the pressure, making this matchup even more crucial for her burgeoning professional reputation. As Clark herself admitted just days before the Dallas game, discussing a shooting slump, "I'm never going to stop shooting. Until I break out of it, I'm just going to keep launching, and that's all I know, and I'm still confident in everything that I can do. I know how hard I've worked, so this isn't something that's going to last." But here's where things get interesting, even explosive. Clark's Fever were stumbling badly, reeling from an embarrassing string of losses right before this massive showdown. The Indiana Fever had just suffered humiliating defeats to teams they should have beaten. The LA Sparks and the Golden State Valkyries handed them losses that left fans scratching their heads, murmuring about inconsistency. As Clark herself confessed, "I think we've struggled in the fact that we're able to play one good game, and then we play a bad game, then we play a good game, then we play a bad game. So I think for us is like we got to find a way to be able to stack really good games together." Behind the scenes, a philosophical war was brewing, a clash between Clark's fast-paced, high-octane vision and Coach Stephanie White's seemingly slower, more controlled approach. Clark wanted to push the tempo, igniting fast break opportunities at every turn. White, it appeared, preferred a more methodical half-court style of play, designed for defensive solidity and deliberate offense. This fundamental clash in basketball philosophy created real, palpable tension within the organization, a simmering conflict just beneath the surface. Clark undeniably thrived on transition basketball, yet White's system, at times, didn't seem to fully unleash that explosive style. The exact moment when Clark and White had their heated sideline exchange during the Atlanta Dream game became an undeniable turning point. Cameras caught every word of their intense discussion, the visible intensity and stark disagreement between them revealing the depth of their conflict. As one observer noted, there is definitely something going on within the locker room, the front office. Something is off, man. This is the third situation in one game we have had involving Caitlin Clark and the coaching staff and pretty much another player. And it looked like Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White definitely had a situation where they was in a heated exchange right before halftime. Lineup inconsistencies only made everything worse. Clark was returning from injury, desperately trying to find her rhythm again. DeWanna Bonner was back from playing with her national team. These constant changes disrupted the team's chemistry completely. The Fever struggled to establish consistent rotations and offensive flow. Players were still figuring out their roles, with key pieces coming and going. The offensive mishaps that plagued the Fever were painful to watch. Missed shots piled up game after game. Turnovers killed promising possessions, and the fast break magic Clark thrived on was completely absent. Clark's shooting struggles became a major concern during this stretch. She openly acknowledged going through a slump but remained defiantly confident. "I'm never going to stop shooting," she stated, comparing her situation to Steph Curry's occasional cold streaks, a bold, confident declaration from a player who knows her worth. The breaking point for the team came when the Fever finally snapped their losing streak against Atlanta. They won that game, but the underlying tensions between Clark and White remained high. The philosophical divide hadn't been resolved. It was simply put on hold, simmering beneath the surface, waiting for the ultimate test. The Dallas game became that ultimate test. Would White finally unleash Clark's preferred style? Or would the philosophical divide continue to hold back the team's immense potential? This internal struggle, this simmering conflict, set up the perfect storm for the Bueckers matchup, with Clark desperate to prove that her unbridled, fast-paced approach could indeed work at the professional level. the unleashing a historic second quarter explosion. Then, something truly magical happened. Stephanie White, in a pivotal moment of strategic brilliance and trust, finally gave Caitlin Clark exactly what she'd been asking for. Against Dallas, White made a crucial decision to let Clark control the tempo and run the offense her way. This wasn't just a small adjustment, it was a complete philosophical shift. White completely changed her approach and trusted Clark to lead the team at the pace she wanted. Early in the game, it wasn't immediately clear if this bold new strategy would work. Both teams felt each other out in the first quarter. The Fever looked good, finding their rhythm, but not spectacularly so. Clark was getting her teammates involved, hitting those signature deep threes. But the real fireworks hadn't started yet. The Wings were keeping pace, and the game felt competitive, tight. Then came the explosive second quarter, and everything clicked into place with a thunderous roar. Clark started pushing the pace like never before. She was finding teammates with those full-court passes, the ones fans affectionately call touchdown passes, threading needles and opening up the court. The Fever scored an incredible 36 points in that quarter alone. They outscored Dallas by a jaw-dropping 21 points in just 10 minutes. This wasn't just good basketball. This was basketball poetry in motion, a masterclass in pace, precision, and unadulterated excitement.